There's a banner there that says mind meets spirit. And that's what we try to do in the chapel. We try to have the girls come to an understanding that there is a spiritual component to us, whatever that is. It can be through a faith tradition. It can certainly happen that way, but it doesn't need to happen that way. But we still ask those hard questions, like when the dog dies, where does the dog go? You know, and you get that question. When something awful happens in a family, the questions come up, why is this happening to us? Big question that I know a lot of the girls ask is like, what's the point? What's the point of it all? Like, why am I even bothering? And so that's where the self-esteem comes in. And to say to the girls, you know, you're here, you're busy all day, but in the dark of the night, when you're all by yourself and in your room, and you're beating yourself up for why did I say that, why didn't I say this, I should have done this better, what's wrong with me? In those moments, I would like to suggest to the girls that you're not alone, that there's a spirit component there that can be your conscience, it can be, some people call it God, different names for it, but there's a value to having that conversation because it clarifies thoughts and then hopefully it clarifies things for you and that you might feel better. So the girls go through that. So in the chapel services, again, trying to balance all of that, we use the traditional Anglican prayer service that's been used actually since the school began. Same format. I think a lot of the old girls, when they come back for events, recognize what we've done, and so that's that part. However, I don't want to stick to just that, because I don't know if anybody read in the paper this morning, there's this thing going on in Ottawa where the Supreme Court wrestles with public prayer case. And they are saying in here, it's that the public prayer is merely a tradition that reflects the city's historic cultural heritage. I want chapel to be more than that. I don't want it just to be a nice thing that we do. I want it to be a place of learning. I want it to be another classroom. But I want it to address the things that you can't address in a classroom. So we look at things like community. How do we build our community? We look at anti-bullying. We address that issue because that's about the community. We look at self-esteem. Just last week, a grade 9 girl did a whole homily on self-image because she had a terrible time growing up. And it wasn't around anorexia or bulimia or anything like that. It was just feeling crummy about herself. And so she talked about that and talked about what that felt like for her, and then said to, you know, like 300 girls sitting out there, but you don't need to feel like that. You're great just the way you are. And so that's what we try to do. We try and get at that part of the girls that isn't on a curriculum. Does that make sense?